Hey guys, it is Marianne from Thrive and welcome to this video where today we are looking at Microsoft Word's table of contents feature. What is a table of contents, where you would use one, how you can create one, and how you can customize one. Now this video keeps things pretty high level because I want you to just get familiar with where to find one and how to work with it so that you can go in and find the features and settings that make sense to you. I will say to you that for this video, I am working on Microsoft Word on the desktop, and it is the Microsoft 365 Business Standard subscription. If you are working on the web version, it will look slightly different for you. I'm also working on a PC, so if you're on a Mac, some of the buttons will be different, and I do mention using the F9 key in there to update the table. That is not an option if you're on a Mac, okay, so keep that in mind. But if you are curious about what a table of contents is and how you can put one into your document, this is an excellent starting video for you. Let's go and have a look. So let's look at some examples of where a table of contents is really useful in your document, and then we'll break down why we use one and how we build it. So realistically, it's going to be a document that, and you can see I've got an example here of a proposal that I would send to a potential client. It's where we want to break the document into sections and make it easy for the reader to be able to jump around and find what they need without having to scroll and scroll and scroll. So realistically, we talk about things that are based on being a large, complex document or having specific sections. So a good example is, say, a proposal where the person who wants to know what you're doing, that's what they might look at first, and then they'll send it off to accounts or the team, and they'll be looking at the fee and the time frame to check whether they're going to approve it, and then it's within budget and that it's all going to work. So we want to make sure that we've broken our document down into those sections and pieces so that then we can build a table of contents. Now, a table of contents is able to be built in a couple of ways. You can do it manually, which is cumbersome and very, very tricky. But there are a few things that you should know if you're going to use an automatic one. You need to be using, sorry, it was a bit mumbly. You need to be using styles or headings in your document so that you can tell Word what to put into a table of contents. So these are those building blocks that we put in when we're creating the content of the document, and it gives it that structure and flow. It's the same thing that you'll use when you're working in the navigation pane to work through your document. And doing that means that when we go to put in an automatic table of contents or an instruction guide for this document, Word has all of the pieces it needs. So you can see in this example, I've got a heading 1, I've got a heading 2. I think in this document, I do have a heading 3, 4, and 5. So it's based on these styles up here. You can see I've got a 3, a 5, and a 6. Okay, but in this instance, I usually work within a table of contents. I work with heading 1 and heading 2. Now mine are numbered. Yours might not be. That's also okay. When we come up here to our actual table of contents, this one, if I click in here anywhere, you'll see if I start to, you'll see it's got all those grey bands between it, and that means that it is a field, which is a variable. So what it's doing is it's pulling through, and if I click out of it, if I hit Control on my keyboard, you'll see that my cursor turns into a little hand, and it tells me that I can click somewhere. So if I hit here, Control click, and it's taken me straight to that page rather than me scrolling through. So, and you can see I have to scroll all the way back up. So if I was to put in a new table of contents, we do that from our layout tab. No, sorry, references. Sorry, silly me. So from our references tab, we've got this first section that is our table of contents. Now we can add here, you'll see there are some pre-built options, and you can see these look very similar to the one we have here. There's couple of automatic tables, there's a manual table, or you can build a custom table of contents. So if we go to custom table, you can see it now starts to give me some options. At the moment, this is what it would look like if I print it. This is the web version. We can choose whether we do or don't show page numbers. You can see the difference there. We can right align the page numbers so that they go over to the right-hand side of the page. And the format I typically would use from template, but as you change these, this will change. These are like themes, and it will change the layouts. This one here, show levels, this is where we look at heading 1, 2, and 3, because we can set what those are. And then on the right-hand side here, we can use hyperlinks instead of page numbers, which means that that becomes that clickable element. If we look at the options, here you can see we're building our table of contents from styles. If we take that away, it becomes very difficult for the system to know what to do. But you can see here we've got a heading 1 is a level 1, a heading 2 is a level 2, and a heading 3 is a level 3. What we can do though is we can scroll through here and every style available could be picked up. So you can see I've got numbered headings as well. I've got a style of heading 3. So all of the different types of styles that are available, we can allocate here. Once we've set up our options, it will build it and it will put the content in here. It's now adding them all together, which is going to make it a bit messy. So I'm just going to Control Z that. So this now would be my table of contents, and this is how it would work if I was to save the document. If I was to change one of these headings, so if I was to call this one Executive Summary instead, I can go up here and right click and update the field. And you can see it's changed that to Executive Summary. So it's a live feed back to the content. You can also, when you're working on a PC, you can just hit F9 and it will do the same thing. We can choose to update just our page numbers if you've just moved or added content that pushes the pages out, or you can update your entire table. If you've added new sections, etc., it will do the whole thing. So a table of contents is a really, really useful piece of your document structure. And I think it's really important that you consider where you might use it, what types of documents would benefit from it that you're working with every day, and what sort of format you would like to create. My top tip when you're working with a table of contents is that you set it up as part of your template, so that in the template itself, you have all of those core headings that might be standard wording. You have your table of contents formatted and set up so that when you share it with your team or your colleagues or other people that you're working with, your collaborators, it means that they have already got the bones there and everything should update for them automatically. If you have any questions about this video, then please let me know. If you have a question about working with a table of contents that I haven't covered here, pop it as a comment or get in touch with me directly. I would love to be able to help you out. And there you have it. Table of contents in Word, a really great way for you to put some structure in your document at the very beginning. This video was designed to help get you comfortable with some of the terms that we use when working with a table of contents. And I will remind you that I am working on a PC on the desktop version of Microsoft Word in a Microsoft 365 business subscription. If you're on the web, it might look a little bit different. And if you use a Mac, it will also be different. So just keep that in mind. If you found this video useful, but you'd like to know more about working with a table of contents or other elements of Word, then there are a few ways I can help you. The first thing to do is that if you found this helpful, please like this video and share it with those who you also think would benefit. Secondly, subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to stay up to date with all the new content as it comes out. And lastly, check the video description for links on other ways that I can help you to really build your skills with Word. There's so much you can do with this tool, and I would love to be able to help you. Either way, I hope this video has been really helpful, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Cheers.